So please welcome Joker.
Ah yeah, today we're learning English with one of the best films of 2019, Joker, starring Joaquin Phoenix. In fact, this movie has already been nominated for several Oscars, including Best Picture. However, I want to let you know in advance that this scene does contain violence and vulgar language. So if you would prefer something lighter, we have plenty of lessons you can find in this playlist by clicking up here. Otherwise, this is a fantastic scene because it will help you learn how to tell jokes in English. Let's get into it. By the way, we couldn't do our normal format for copyright reasons. If you are unfamiliar with the scene and want to watch the whole thing and test everything you learned here after you finish the lesson, I will link that at the end and in the description below.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
It's the police, ma'am. Your son's been hit by a drunk driver. He's dead.
Ma'am is a word we use to address a woman in a polite and respectful manner. It's the contracted form of madam.
Ma'am, we're gonna have to move him now. Are you hurt, ma'am?
I'm okay.
Good, you're gonna be all right, okay?
Joker here tells a knock-knock joke. This is a type of joke that follows a specific structure. This type of joke starts when someone says knock knock. This is the sound we make when we announce ourselves tapping our fist on someone's door. So do you know or can you guess what follows after that?
Here we go. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Buddha.
Buddha who?
Buddha the spread for me, won't you?
This is from the show The Office, where Michael is often seen cracking bad jokes. Buddha sounds like butter, so he's saying she should apply butter to his slice of bread. Later in the scene, Joker uses another common joke formula. That's what do you get when you cross? Here's an example of a joke of that type.
Hey, what do you get when you cross a Smurf with a cow? Blue cheese! I got you a present!
He's dead.
Oh, no, you cannot joke about that.
Yeah, that's not funny, Arthur. That's not the kind of humor we do on this show.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's just, it's been a rough few weeks, Murray. Ever since I killed those 3 Wall Street guys.
We commonly say rough to describe a period of time when we've had problems or difficulties.
What's going on? Is everything okay?
It's just that I've been having a really rough day and I needed to see a friendly face.
And you picked me?
We also often say rough patch. Also, note here the collocation to go through a rough patch.
Me and my girlfriend are going through a bit of a rough patch ourselves.
Something else worth noting here in Joker's comment is how he says it. He says, it's been a rough few weeks. We often describe a certain period of time using it and the present perfect, it has been. We use the present perfect to show that it is something that has started in the past, but that is still true now. Check out these examples with a similar use.
So what are you drinking?
It's been a rough day. It's been a very interesting evening.
It really has.
Well, okay, I think I might understand that you did this to start a movement, to become a symbol.
Come on, Murray. Do I look like the kind of clown that could start a movement?
To get the pronunciation of this utterance right, we need to break it down into 3 chunks. Let's say each chunk one by one. Do I look like the kind of clown that could start a movement?
Do I look like the kind of clown that could start a movement?
Note that here, kind of becomes kinda. So you say kinda clown. Another part that you need to pay attention to is this one. We say could starta. Do
I look like the kind of clown that could start a movement?
Hey, if you want to master correct stress and American pronunciation, well, there's no better way than with our Fluent with Friends course. In this 48-week course, every week you get a lesson accompanying the first 2 seasons of the TV series Friends. Plus, you get 20+ page PDF power lessons, vocabulary memorization software, access to our Fluency Circle global community, and so much more. What are you waiting for? You can try it for free right now with our 3-part masterclass. All you have to do is click up here or down in the description below to learn more and sign up.
I killed those guys because they were awful. Everybody is awful these days. It's enough to make anyone crazy.
Okay, so that's it. You're crazy. That's your defense for killing 3 young men?
No. They couldn't carry a tune to save their lives.
Awful means very bad or unpleasant. Example, the weather was awful. That smells awful. Joker here uses this word to describe people as very bad, cruel, or inconsiderate.
Michael, that's awful.
Isn't it?
Yes.
I'm awful, aren't I?
Yeah, that's
I'm an
pretty
awful
bad.
guy. Ooh. How can you live with yourself?
I am what I am, Oscar, and I want what I want. And right now I want a piece of cake.
To carry a tune means to be able to sing well. It's not clear what the Joker means here, but he might be referring to the moment when one of the guys who he murdered started singing a song.
Isn't it rich? Are we okay? Me here at last on the ground. And you
He uses another expression in this line when he says to save their lives. We often say this to communicate that someone isn't able to do something. Example, he couldn't stop playing video games to save his life. However, the phrase, even if your life depended on it, is more common. So the previous example would be, he wouldn't stop playing video games even if his life depended on it. Another use is as in the following example, which means, I would never do that. Example, I wouldn't eat that food if my life depended on it.
Oh, why is everybody so upset about these guys? If it was me dying on the sidewalk, you'd walk right over me. I pass you every day and you don't notice me. But these guys, what, because Thomas Wayne went and cried about them on TV?
You have a problem with Thomas Wayne, too.
Yes, I do. Have you seen what it's like out there, Murray? Do you ever actually leave the studio? Everybody just yells and screams at each other.
In this utterance, we pronounce these 2 S's as Z. If we isolate this part, we'll see how each word links to the next. Z at each other. Let's repeat it. Everybody just yells and screams at each other. Everybody just yells and screams at each other.
Everybody just yells and screams at each other. Nobody's civil anymore.
If you describe a person as being civil, you're saying that person acts in a normal way without disrespecting anyone or being impolite.
Gil, please, let's keep this civil. Oh, by the way, if you ever speak disrespectfully again about my wife, I'll kill you. Sorry, that sounded like a joke. I will actually kill you.
Nobody thinks what it's like to be the other guy. You think men like Thomas Wayne ever think what it's like to be someone like me? To be somebody but themselves? They don't. They think that we'll just sit there and take it like good little boys, that we won't werewolf and go wild.
You finished?
What it is like, or what it feels like, is the way we phrase the idea of knowing or imagining how something is. Example, it's impossible for men to comprehend what it's like to give birth. Often learners have a hard time incorporating this into their vocabulary and incorrectly use how. For example, when asking about someone's personality, the right question is, what is she like? Not, how is she? Joker then says that men like Thomas Wayne never think what it's like to be anyone but themselves. They have no empathy. But here is used as a synonym of accept. I had no choice but to accept the challenge.
All right then, I have no choice but to go on to plan B.
They think that we'll just sit there and take it like good little boys, that we won't werewolf and go wild.
You finished?
In this case, take is used as a synonym of receive and tolerate. By sit and take it, he's referring to adopting a passive attitude as opposed to rejecting what's not right. Of course, he's saying that he won't just sit and take it. He, and all the people that relate to him, will werewolf and go wild. A werewolf is a mythical creature that has the appearance of a person, but can transform into a wolf-like beast. He's using this word in a strange way, as a verb, and what he means is react in an aggressive or violent way to the abuse that he's getting. To go wild means to start doing crazy things.
You finished? I mean, there's so much self-pity, Arthur. You sound like you're making excuses for killing those young men.
This is the feeling of being depressed because you think that something unfair or unpleasant has happened to you. This word has a negative connotation, so if you say someone has self-pity, you're disapproving of that attitude. Example, she's gone through difficult times, but she shows no self-pity at all.
Not everybody, and I'll tell you this, not everyone is awful.
You're awful.
Me? I'm awful? Oh yeah, how am I awful?
Playing my video. Inviting me on the show. You just wanted to make fun of me. You're just like the rest of them.
You don't know the first thing about me, pal.
Joker used to admire Murray, but then, as Joker explains here, Murray played a video where Joker had a bad performance at a comedy club.
Here's a guy who thinks if you just keep laughing, it'll somehow make you funny. Check out this Joker.
I hated school as a kid.
He accuses Murray of doing it to get a laugh at his expense. Joker obviously felt humiliated by this. This is an expression which we use to emphasize that someone knows nothing about a subject.
The Arcadian is an architecturally significant.
Architecturally significant? You don't know the first thing about architecture.
Look what happened because of what you did, what it led to. There were riots out there. 2 policemen are in critical condition. You're laughing. You're laughing. Someone was killed today because of what you did.
I know.
If an action leads to something, it causes it to happen. Joker's killing of the 3 men led to causing enormous chaos in the city. It led to riots, which is an occasion when a large number of people behave in a noisy, violent, and uncontrolled way in public. This can also be used as a verb. Example, students are rioting in the streets of the capital.
How about another joke, Murray?
No, I think we've had enough of your jokes.
If you said you have had enough of something, it means that you do not wish for any more of that. We often say this when we're full after eating. For example, if someone offers you some more pasta, you could say, "No thanks, I've had enough already." Another context where this is commonly used is when someone is irritated because of a situation or annoyed at a person. So they say, "I've had enough of this," or "I've had enough of you."
He is never gonna leave. Starting to think you're right.
All right, I've had enough of this. I'm a grown man. I have a successful career. I mean, for the love of God, I've been to space. I will move out when I'm ready, and I don't need anyone badgering me into it.
What do you get?
I don't think so.
When you cross
I think
a
we're
mentally
done
ill
with your
loner
jokes. That's
with a
it.
society that abandons him and treats him like trash.
Call the police,
I'll
Gene.
tell you what you get.
Call the police.
You get what you fucking deserve.
Alright, I hope you enjoyed learning real-life English with me today, and you can continue on your path to fluency with us. Just watch one of the lessons here that I know you're going to love, and be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of our new ones. And now it's time to go beyond the classroom and live your English. Ah yeah!